family, friends, honored guests, and most of all, graduates. Welcome to Great Falls High School's commencement on this beautiful evening as we gather to celebrate the class of 2021. I am Principal Jeff Hobble, and I'm really excited to welcome you, everyone here, and our guests to this presentation. As I look out upon our graduates, I flash to many moments over the past 4 years of listening to their stories of hopes and dreams, of sadness and triumphs. This group of graduates has so many stories to tell their family and their kids. They've made it. I also know they understand that this is only the beginning. They are moving forward, each in their own right, to accomplish a wealth of great things. I cannot wait to follow their journeys, and I wish each of you the very best. I would like to personally say thank you to the graduates. Thank you. Thank you for being adaptive. Thank you for your smiles. Thank you for your energy, your compassion, your kindness, your generosity, and your understanding of events. And thank you for your friendships. We thought it would be also great to recognize a few of the many accomplishments that some of these graduates have made over the years at Great Falls High. First of all, I'd like to call out our Great Falls Public Schools Foundation Excellence in Education students. This is an honored yearly award presented by the foundation to recognize students that stand out academically. Graduates, please rise when your name is called and stay standing until the group is applauded. Ms. Camille Boland, Claire Earl, Hannah Ferris, Gavin Rochelle, Riley Hayter, Corbin Hazer-Rayo, Kelly Jones, Ethan Kunker, Renee Lake, Cameron McNamee, Matthew Orvis, Hallie Thompson, Taylor Vandermars, Drew Wyman, and Tia Zurinsky. You may be seated. Congratulations for your selection of excellence in education. Maintaining a 4.0 through your high school career is also quite a feat. We have a few to celebrate for that as well. Students, when your name is called, please stand and remain standing until the collective group could be applauded. Melissa Curry, Claire Earl, Kelly Jones, Cameron McNamee, Hallie Thompson, Taylor Vandermars, Drew Wyman, and Tia Zaremski. Good job. Congratulations to all of you for your hard work in maintaining the excellence of the Bison. Now it is my pleasure to introduce a couple of students. Every year, traditionally, we have tried to allow some students to speak and say what things they learned and what things they want to leave behind, because the day is about them. Along with many other students, this young lady has accomplished a wealth of accolades over her 4 years at Great Falls High. She's a 4.0 student, an Excellence in Education recipient, and a finalist for the Principal's Award. Please welcome to the stage Ms. Hallie Thompson.
Not just because public speaking is terrifying, but because I was given the honor to try to put into words why I am convinced my classmates are going to change the world. And I hope I don't get it wrong. I am positive that this date has been on every teacher, staff member, and substitute teacher's radar since the moment we stepped into kindergarten in 2008 and started wreaking havoc. I went to Morningside Elementary School and have some examples of what I mean. A classmate of mine once ate about 7 trays full of beans in order to drive our substitute teacher back to England. She had an accent. I would like to point out the ambition he demonstrated, because those beans are not good, and he was not going to stop at just enough beans to get her out of the classroom, but all the way back to England. At one point, we had kids on the roof at recess. I still have no idea how they got up there. And of course, I think we can all relate to the sheer amount of field trips that got canceled, because they thought if we were let out into public, we would be embarrassments to our school. However, I know for a fact that one of the few field trips that we were allowed to go on was to the landfill. We took our little yellow buses and we drove up to the piles of garbage to look at through the window. Of course, we were not allowed out of the bus because on the playground, we weren't even trusted with tetherballs. I, on the other hand, have always been a rule follower, doing nothing that would draw attention to myself. I cried when I received my one and only PAR. Throughout the havoc wreaking, I was just along for the ride. However, I've learned a lot from my classmates. I've learned the value of pushing boundaries, questioning everything, and taking no prisoners. Quiet. This word has defined me since I was little. I was always the shy girl who blushed when people looked at her. The girl that was so soft-spoken that she was asked to repeat herself every time I asked a question. I was taught indirectly that if I wasn't making noise, I wasn't being noticed. I saw my quiet demeanor as a weakness. However, in the last few years, I've realized the superpowers that come with being authentic. I learned that if I have passion for a cause, I have no problem putting myself out there. This is why I'm here. I am passionate about my class. It's been such a huge honor to graduate with so many strong individuals who never failed to be fearlessly authentic. I believe this class is more than ready to go take on the world. We've never been ones to let obstacles get in the way of what we want. Just in the fact that we're here, despite having to navigate learning through a pandemic, shows our resilience. Whether you are that quiet girl, or the outgoing Cameron McNamee on his way to Caltech, or Isaac Woolvett, who's authentically himself on the stage, or Donovan Mahoney, being kind to everyone, or Morgan Sunchild, who never fails to make my day. We can change the world. In fact, it takes all kinds of people to make a world a better place. I was so encouraged this last year, watching my classmates marching, writing, and speaking out about this most American ideal of equality for all. This idea that more than 50 years after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is somehow left unfulfilled. Our 4 years at Great Falls High have been much less than normal. We had 2 years of construction and 2 years of a pandemic. This is a perfect representation of our class's resilience. Once we set our minds to something, it will get done, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Some examples from just this year are swimming, bringing home 4 trophies, 2 that we care about, even though state was the only in-person meet that they were allowed, and having national qualifiers in both DECA and BPA despite navigating a virtual format. One program that consistently impresses me with its resilience is our wrestling team. They frequently bring home hardware and had 2 state champs this year, Liam Swanson and Ethan DeRoche. I want to also give a special shout out to Elijah Davis, who's been with me since kindergarten. And after trying his hand at figure skating in elementary school, found out that he was pretty good at wrestling when he won 2 state championships. Last year they won state right before the shutdown after Coach Comack had to leave to save UP and Carranza took over mid-season. Our girls soccer team had the best record since 2003, the year that I was born. The boys basketball team took 2nd place in state, and our tennis team had a ton of fun. As an athlete, I tend to care about this stuff, but I know it's not everything. One of our extracurricular activities that's done a lot of cool things this year is BPA. They won the State Cup Spirit of Professionalism and 3 national awards. They're very well deserved and just another example of how cool their class is. The last thing that sets us apart is our ability to think for ourselves. In the past 3 years, I have found a passion for sustainability. And the best thing that I've learned about the sustainability movement is to question everything. This is something my classmates have always excelled at. While I was actively avoiding the spotlight, my classmates fearlessly protested crisscross applesauce and single file lines. This has progressed to questions like, why are Indigenous women so much more likely to go missing and be murdered? This is the first step to much needed change. After trying to incorporate this into my own life, I've looked around and been so inspired by all the people around me who do this every single day. Putting it into practice, in the face of the pandemic, Ansley Kleinfelter created her own prom after our school prom was canceled, donating much of the profit to charity. Another student who saw the challenges of the pandemic and rose to meet them was the incredibly gifted artist Danielle Kalstrom, as she made masks with her artwork on them. Taylor Vandemar successfully made a sucky winter of COVID a lot more fun by organizing a game, Senior Assassins, where anyone was welcome to join. Sorry to anyone Bailey and I had to kill to take home first place. In my government class, we have had great conversations about heavy topics such as Roe v. Wade, where both sides bring up great arguments and still walk out as friends. In our increasingly polarized country, it is so important to value differing opinions and not fear controversy. As we take the next steps, this skill is applicable in everything you do, regardless of your mission. Whether you're interested in fighting to end the climate crisis, or burning down the patriarchy, or curing cancer, it is so important to look at things from all angles and decide for yourself how to approach this problem. My classmates are authentic, resilient, free thinkers who are going to change the world. If anyone in this room decides that they're going to cure cancer, I have no doubt that it will happen. Quickly, I want to thank all of the teachers for putting up with us in our havoc-wreaking ways and for doing the best that they possibly could. And lastly, I want to leave us with the beautiful words of Amanda Gorman, who has been my source of inspiration the past 4 years and especially recently. There is always a light if you're brave enough to see it, if you're brave enough to be it. Go Bison.
Thank you, Hallie, very much. Some very great words. Off script a little bit. Hallie and Alyssa, thank you both very much. And I hope that all of you were paying attention to that and not just the graduates. Those two embody a whole lot of characteristics of what it means to be a bison, what it means to accomplish things little and small. It just shows you the pride of Great Falls High, the history of Great Falls High, the quality of Great Falls High that is produced every year. Thank you both very much. At this time, I would like to acknowledge our finalists for the 2021 Principals Award. The Principals Award is given to a student who has not only shown outstanding academic achievement, but also excels in leadership and commitment to the school and the greater community. The award winner is part of a rigorous 6-level review process that includes peers and teachers. There's over 20 panel members that review this. They bring forward a group of students, and then finally, there is one recommendation for the final approval. There's a lot of kids sitting in this little group out here that could be Principals Award finalists and winners. I am proud of each and every one of them. As I say your name, would you please rise and remain standing until your group can be applauded. Alyssa Curry, Claire Earl, Gavin Rochelle, Allison Harris, Cameron McNamee, Hallie Thompson, Levi Torgerson, and Tia Zaretsky. Thank are going to go on to do great things. I wish each of you nothing but the best in the years ahead. The recipient of the 2021 Principals Award is Hallie Thompson. Hallie, please stand up here.
Principal Hobble, by the power vested in me as superintendent by these folks back here who are my bosses, and by the state of Montana, I accept your affirmation that these graduates have met and therefore satisfy the graduation requirements for a high school diploma set forth by the Montana Board of Public Education and the Great Falls Public Schools School Board. So let's proceed with this ceremonious awarding of these diplomas. Family and friends, let's applaud these Bison graduates.
Gavin.
Congratulations.
Michael Grishel.
Hallie Morgan Thompson.
To all our graduates and their families. Good job. I heard a little while back a quote from an Indian spiritual leader, Sathya Sai Baba. He said, "The end of wisdom is freedom. The end of culture is perfection. The end of knowledge is love. And the end of education is character." Most of us are continuing to learn about the character of the class of 2021. Over a month ago, Hallie alluded to this, these young men and women celebrated a prom. Ansley Kleinfelter and a handful of others made it happen with parental and community support. When it was all said and done, they generated thousands of dollars from ticket sales. Last week, Ansley and this class of 2021 gave over $4,000 to the Great Falls High Osborne Scholarship Fund. This is a fund that serves underprivileged students when they can't afford to participate in extracurriculars. They're not done. Tonight they are continuing a very important time-honored tradition at Great Falls High. Every year, just prior to walking across the stage, our graduates slip money into a bucket as their final gift of service. They select a charity to which they donate as they cross the stage. This is the one collective final act of service for the class of 2021. On Friday, these seniors chose to donate their proceeds of their efforts to the Special Olympics here in Great Falls. Graduates, again, thank you all for all you've done and all you will continue to accomplish throughout your lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. It's been a beautiful evening. As we exit, please allow the graduates to go first. Please be safe this weekend and enjoy your family and friends. Congratulations to the class of 2021. You've made us proud. Alyssa Curry and crew, come on up.
Richmond.